Hello students, we are going to learn about biomolecules. And from the topic biomolecules, we are going to study about introduction, classification of carbohydrates, nomenclature of monosaccharides and preparation of glucose from sucrose and starch. From the biomolecules, now see that branch which is related with the biology and chemistry. And all of you know that cell is a basic unit in all living organism. It is a very small but has a very highly complicated structure and contain a large number of lifeless molecules. And these lifeless molecules combines in a particular way to yield complex substance which helps to sustain the life, and they produce identical daughter cell, and therefore cell it play a very important role in the living organism. And biomolecules are lifeless organic substances which form basis of life. And these biomolecules are responsible for the growth and maintenance of living organisms. Biomolecules play a very important role, or they are a part of various physiological process in the living system. Carbohydrate, protein, nucleic acid, enzymes, these are the example for biomolecules. And in addition, some molecules like water, mineral salt, vitamins, hormones, they play a very important role in the function of organism. And therefore, biomolecule, it is a very important branch of chemistry as well as biology. From the biomolecule topic, first we are going to study about the carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, these are the biomolecules. Having the general formula CnH2nOn. Okay, you can write that formula in the form of CnH2On. Means what you can see here that carbon it is with the H2O molecule. Means what we can see here hydrated carbon. These are the carbohydrate, and therefore this initially that carbohydrate they are considered as hydrates of carbon. See the example glucose. Having the formula C6H12O6, and we can write the glucose in the form of hydrate of carbon as C6H2O6. For the sucrose, C12H22O11, or we can write C12H20H2O11. Means if there are the carbon number 12, 11 H2O molecules are present. Like that for the sucrose also, sucrose which have what we can say for the sucrose, these are hydrates of carbon. For starch, C6H10O5N number. N it indicates that it is a polymer. Starch it is a polymer, and we can write that the same formula in the form of hydrate of carbon as C6H2O5, and therefore initially that carbohydrate they are considered as hydrates of carbon. But now see, for these carbohydrates, they did not contain free water molecules, and therefore that is what we can say these are the not hydrates of carbon, as there is a no free water molecule. And all the compounds which fits in that general formula, they are not carbohydrate. If you are taken here example formaldehyde, which having the formula HCHO, and we can write that formula in the form of hydrate of carbon as carbon H2O. Or for the acetic acid, all of you know that acetic acid which is from that carboxylic acid family, and it also fit into the formula for the hydrates of carbon like C2H2O twice. So these aldehydes, formaldehyde, acetic acid, they fit into that formula that is hydrate of carbon, but they are not carbohydrates, and all the carbohydrates are not fitting in the general formula of these hydrates of carbon. Like example, rhamnose. So it having the formula C6H12O5, and which is an important example from the carbohydrate family, but it does not follow that hydrates of carbon formula. It does not fit in this formula as it is but it is a carbohydrate, and therefore the definition is not applicable for these carbohydrates. And the definition for carbohydrate is these are optically active polyhydroxyaldehydes or polyhydroxyketones. Okay, listen that what are these carbohydrates? These are carbohydrates are optically active polyhydroxyaldehydes or polyhydroxyketones or compounds that can be hydrolyzed to polyhydroxyaldehydes or polyhydroxyketones. Also, this is a definition for the carbohydrates. What important word is, these are the polyhydroxyaldehydes, means they contain more number of OH group as well as they contain the functional group aldehyde, means they contain hydroxy group and aldehyde functional group, or polyhydroxy ketones, means more number of OH group and with the ketone functional group. So this is a definition for the carbohydrates. About these carbohydrates, some points. These carbohydrates like glucose, fructose are sweet in taste and they are called as sugars. Most commonly used sugar in the sucrose, which is obtained from sugar cane or sugar beet. Carbohydrates are a major source of energy. Sugar which present in the milk is called as lactose. And the Greek word for the sugar is saccharon, and therefore the carbohydrates are also called as saccharides. The next point is about the classification of carbohydrates. We have here the three types of classification, which is based on hydrolysis behavior, which is based on the water solubility, and which is based on the reducing property. First, we see about the classification of carbohydrates, which is based on the hydrolysis behavior. They are classified into two groups, that's simple and complex. The simple carbohydrates are those which cannot be further hydrolyzed, and these are monosaccharides. Okay, now what you can say, these monosaccharides, they cannot be hydrolyzed further, but depending upon that function group, whether they are contain the aldehyde group or ketone group, they are classified into aldoses, ketoses. Okay, depending upon the number of carboatom, again they have the different example like triose, tetrose, pentose, hexose. Okay, so this is about the monosaccharides, which are simple carbohydrates and cannot be further hydrolyzed. For the complex carbohydrates, they are classified into the oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. Oligosaccharides are carbohydrates. These are the complex carbohydrates which undergo the hydrolysis, and after the hydrolysis they yield 2 to 10 number of monosaccharides. Okay, 2 to 10 number of, what you can see, the number of monosaccharides, or 2 to 10 units of monosaccharides. These are called as oligosaccharides. They are further classified into the disaccharides, trisaccharides, tetrasaccharides, depending upon that how many units we get here after the hydrolysis of this carbohydrates. And polysaccharides, which gives large number of monosaccharides. So first, from this classification, we see about the monosaccharides. Okay, so these are the carbohydrates which do not hydrolyze further into smaller units of polyhydroxyaldehydes or polyhydroxyketones. Monosaccharides are the basic unit of all the carbohydrates, and the glucose, fructose, galactose, ribose are the examples of monosaccharides. And there are about 20 different monosaccharides are found in the carbohydrate family, which are monosaccharides. So this is about the monosaccharides. Important word is that they do not further hydrolyze. Oligosaccharides, which yields 2 to 10 number of monosaccharide unit on hydrolysis. The first is disaccharides. Here for the disaccharides, which have the formula C12H22O11. Sucrose, maltose, lactose are example of disaccharides. Now see the first example, sucrose. And sucrose, which having the formula C12H22O11, and when they undergo the hydrolysis, it yields 1 unit of glucose and 1 unit of fructose, means it yields 2 units of these monosaccharides. Maltose, having the same formula, after hydrolysis it yields 2 unit of glucose, and as it yields, or after the hydrolysis it yields 2 units, it is called as disaccharides. Lactose, it yields 1 unit of glucose and 1 unit of galactose. So sucrose, maltose and lactose, these are the example for disaccharides. For the, see the formula for disaccharides, C12, as it contains the carbon 12, when they yields a product after hydrolysis, each unit contain carbon 6. For the trisaccharides, having that molecular formula for the trisaccharides, C18H32O16. Raffinose is example for the trisaccharide. And when the raffinose undergo hydrolysis, it yields 1 unit of glucose, 1 unit of fructose, and 1 unit of galactose. As it yields 3 units of these monosaccharide, it is under the heading of trisaccharides. And again, there is see the formula C18, and when it yields the trisaccharides 3 units, each contain carbon 6. And it shows that hydrogen and oxygen change as we are going that perform that reaction with the H2O. For the tetrasaccharides, C24, H42 and O21. Stricose, it is example for the tetrasaccharides which after hydrolysis yields 1 unit of glucose, 1 unit of fructose and 2 units of galactose. And as it yields 4 monosaccharides, now see all these are the monosaccharides, glucose, fructose, galactose, these are the monosaccharides. When they form the 4 units of monosaccharides, they are under the heading of tetrasaccharides. So this is about the classification of these oligosaccharides. And the next branch is polysaccharides, which gives a very large number of monosaccharide units on the hydrolysis. So these are when undergo the hydrolysis or to get here large number of monosaccharides means more number of monosaccharides, and they are natural biopolymers of monosaccharides. Example, important example of polysaccharide is starch, glycogen, cellulose, gums. These are the example for the polysaccharides, and which gives a large number of monosaccharide units on hydrolysis. So this is about the classification of these carbohydrates, which are classified into the monosaccharides, oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. Next type of classification is based on the water solubility. Carbohydrates are classified into the sugars and non-sugars. Okay, very simple classification of these carbohydrates. As all these sugars, they are soluble in water, crystalline in nature and sweet in taste. And non-sugars are insoluble in water, amorphous and tasteless. But remember about the example of these sugars and non-sugars. All the examples which are under the heading of monosaccharides and oligosaccharides. These are example for the sugars. Okay, sucrose, maltose, lactose. These are the example for the sugars. And example for non-sugar, these are polysaccharides. Okay, starch, cellulose, these are non-sugar and carbohydrates. And which type of carbohydrates? Non-sugar carbohydrates. So this is a classification based on water solubility. Next point, the classification based on reducing property. They are classified into the reducing sugar and non-reducing sugar. Now see already what we have studied here, that they contain aldehyde as a functional group. Okay, so as they having the aldehyde functional group, they shows the property of aldehydes like reducing property, and there are some carbohydrates which not shows this non-reducing property as they not contain free aldehyde group in their structure. Reducing sugars, they reduces the failing solution, tolerance reagents, and all the monosaccharides. They are the example for these reducing sugars. Disaccharides with the free aldehyde or ketone group, that is maltose, lactose, they shows the reducing properties and they are called as reducing sugars. For the disaccharides and which are having that bonded aldehyde or ketone group, means they are not having the free aldehyde group, like sucrose. Okay, in the sucrose structure, it not having the free aldehyde group and therefore it not reduces the failing solution and therefore it acts as a non-reducing sugar carbohydrate. So this is about the classification of carbohydrate based on reducing properties. Next point about this carbohydrate is about the nomenclature of monosaccharides. Simple monosaccharides which cannot be hydrolyzed, and these are the simple units and they are named according to the number of carbon atom, like trioses, tetroses, pentoses. So very simple classification of this nomenclature according to their number of carbon atom. If they contain 6 carbon atom, they are referred as hexose. If they contain 5 carbon atom, pentose. We see example for these monosaccharides. Now see that how we can decide this nomenclature. according to that active group which is present in these sugars, or what we can see the carbohydrates. If monosaccharide contain aldehyde group, they are called as aldose. And if the monosaccharide contain ketone group, they are called as ketose. So this is the first step that we can refer these aldose or ketose according to the presence of functional group. As we are studied in the definition, these are polyhydroxy aldehydes or ketone, means they contain aldehyde or ketone functional group. Now see the example, aldose, glyceraldehyde, which contain aldehyde as a functional group. CHO, it is a functional group which is present in this glyceraldehyde, CHO, CHOH and CH2OH. And as it contains 3 carbon, it is called as triose with the functional group aldehyde, and therefore it is aldotriose. Example, glyceraldehyde. Now one example for the ketose, dihydroxy acetone. The dihydroxy acetone, here that ketotriose, it is called as ketotriose as it contains ketone and with the 3 carbon group, 3 carbon, and therefore it is a ketose and ketotriose. These are the example for this carbohydrate. Next example for the aldose, they are glyceraldehyde, erythrose, ribose, glucose. See the example, erythrose. Erythrose which contain, now see the carbon number 1 which having that aldehyde group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 carbon atom, and therefore it is a tetrose, and with the functional group aldehyde, therefore aldotetrose, and the name for that is the erythrose. Next one more example, ribose. Ribose also contain aldehyde as a functional group, aldehyde as a functional group, and see the carbon number 1 which contain aldehyde group, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 carbon atom, therefore it is a pentose, aldopentose, and the name for that structure is ribose. So what we can see here, ribose, it is an example for the aldopentose. Aldohexose, which contains 6 carbon atom. Glucose, it is important example of carbohydrate, which is a monosaccharide, which contains 6 carbon atom. Therefore, it is called as aldohexose. See here, that aldehyde group and 6 carbon atom. Okay, so this is for the aldohexose. This is for the ketohexose. 6 carbon atom and ketone as a functional group. See here, ketone as a functional group. Therefore, first it is a ketose, ketohexose, as it contains the 6 carbon, and name for the structure is fructose. So next part from this carbohydrate is that we are going to study here methods for the preparation of glucose from sucrose. So the first is from the sucrose. Sucrose which having the formula C12H22O11, and when the sucrose undergo the hydrolysis. Okay. So now see, just you have studied sucrose, it is example for the disaccharide, and which after hydrolysis it yields 2 units of monosaccharides. One is the glucose and one is the fructose. So sucrose, it is used for the preparation of glucose, and the method used in that is, or the process, what we can see, the process is hydrolysis in presence of acid, dilute HCl or dilute H2SO4 it is used. And when the sucrose is hydrolyzed in presence of acid, and the heating is required here about the 2 hours. So what we get here, a mixture of glucose and fructose as a product. And this glucose and fructose having the formula C6H12O6, and which are separated by adding the ethanol, and glucose is almost insoluble in alcohol and which crystallize first, and fructose which is soluble in alcohol, and therefore very simple, by the filtration they can be separated, as glucose is insoluble and fructose is soluble in the alcohol. Glucose and fructose both having the same formula C6H12O6. And next method is preparation of glucose from starch. Starch having the formula C6H10O5 N number, as starch it is a polysaccharide. When undergo the hydrolysis in presence of acid, dilute H2SO4 at 393 Kelvin at 2 to 3 atmospheric pressure, the number of monosaccharide unit, and this is the glucose, are obtained. Okay. So this is a commercially glucose is prepared by the hydrolysis of starch, And when the hydrolysis is completed, now see the excess of acid, because we are carrying out the reaction in presence of acid, and therefore excess of acid it is neutralized by adding chalk powder. And the color impurity, that yellowish tint color is present in the glucose due to the presence of H2SO4, and that color impurity they are removed by the adsorption method by adding charcoal, so that on that charcoal piece all these color impurity they get stuck and we get that glucose in the pure form. And in the color, okay, no any other color is present in their glucose, we get in the pure form. So crystals of glucose they are separated out simply by the filtration method. So this is the method for the preparation of glucose. We studied from the sucrose and from the starch. So this is about the classification of carbohydrates, nomenclature of monosaccharides, and as also we are studying here methods for the preparation of glucose from sucrose and starch. So this is about this video. Okay, thank you.